Well, as we know, Twitter is going to be sold and it is going to become Elon Musk. So let's go ahead and check in. I want to talk more about this. Let's go ahead and check in with Jon Schweppe. Jon, thank you so much for being here. We are with American Principles Project. Let's talk about this. So his tweet, he says, "Let it sink in. I think it's sinking in with the left, and they're not happy. They're not happy about it. They're having a meltdown."
Yeah, Twitter is a powerful communications medium when you're trying to control the narrative and make sure that democracy only goes one way. And we've seen how they've used that in past elections, especially in the 2020 election. And so I think, this is where conservatives understandably are hopeful that Elon coming in and promoting ideas like free speech and free expression, hopefully we'll be able to turn this into a better medium and one where we can actually communicate and be heard. Obviously, it remains to be seen. I think on some things, I'm sure Elon will disappoint, but generally, it's a pretty good day, and it's exciting if you care about free speech.
On the right, and that's really the reason why Musk wanted to buy the company. Elaborate more on what this means for our First Amendment.
Well, I think, people don't really understand, sometimes they take the First Amendment extremely literally and think about it only as, what could happen in the public square. The digital public square, these online platforms, have really kind of turned democracy on its head. And now much of the discussion, much of our politicking takes place online. And so when you have these private companies that are censoring and really preventing people from participating in democracy, obviously that's dangerous and it has a really negative effect. And so, this is the hope here, which, I think we saw 10 years ago, even as recently as 6 years ago, when Trump won in 2016, these platforms have a huge effect on the actual election results. And it's good for conservatives if we're actually allowed to communicate. And so I hope that that's what happens. And, we'll see. But as we gear up for the 2024 election, that Elon is going to be under tremendous pressure to censor conservatives. That's going to come from all sorts of places, even from companies like Apple and Google, which have the App Store duopoly and can kind of control whether Twitter gets to be on there. And so let's hope that he remains steadfast. And as conservatives, I think we need to encourage him and appreciate what he's trying to do.
Well, you touched on this and you think that he'll deliver on his promise. You hope he will. But big tech is still in charge.
Yeah, we can't forget that, right? I mean, we saw what happened to Parler, where because Apple and Google and Amazon Web Services all worked together to shut Parler down, they basically destroyed a business that was taking off. And so Twitter's a lot larger than Parler was, but the same dynamics still apply. And so there's already been talk on the left about using that power to shut Twitter down. And let's hope it doesn't happen. But this is why, even though this is a good thing, and you have a lot of Republicans on Twitter probably praising Elon Musk and hoping that this is a good thing for free speech, we still need to go and do the tech policy stuff. We need to do Section 230 reform to promote free speech online. We need to do antitrust. So I don't think that lets the politicians off the hook. But hopefully this will be a good thing and hopefully move things in the right direction.
Yeah, a step in the right direction. But like you just said, he can't do it alone. What other solutions do you think, do you have? Any ideas?
Yeah, well, I think Section 230 reform is the ultimate idea. If we can get it passed, again, we would need 60 votes in the Senate, and the Democrats oppose free speech these days, so that's difficult to do. But the Section 230 reforms that we've advocated at American Principles Project would create a First Amendment standard where these companies currently enjoy, immunity from civil liability. It would say, no, you don't get that unless you're going to act like a First Amendment zone, like a public sidewalk. And so I think we definitely need to pass a law here. And then also antitrust. We have the opportunity to enforce the law and break up these companies and prevent them from engaging in all the anti-competitive acquisitions and all these things they've done. And I think that's another way because, if we have competition, hopefully this won't be a problem. Hopefully, people will flock to where the speech is.
Yeah, you're right. Well, tomorrow is a big day, and we'll be watching this one very closely. Jon Schweppe, the Director of Policy and Government Affairs for American Principles Project. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.